Okay. Welcome to the January 2025 Respiratory Therapy Department meeting. Thanks for attending. We got a small group. We'll add additional staff as they pop on. I saw Marta get on briefly, but then was disconnected. So as people join on, we'll get them onboarded. Want to be respectful of everybody's time. We have kind of a little bit of a jam-packed uh, agenda for this month, so we'll get right into it. Good afternoon, Marta. Thanks for joining. All right, reflection. This is by actress Sarah Michelle Gellar. If you have an idea, you have to believe in yourself, or no one else will. I think that's a really good one. So, agenda for this month, going over again accounting, productivity, some various current events and things that are happening in the background. Just want to relay that to all of you so you have some visibility of things that are coming up. Some exciting news with RT equipment, and then, of course, some hanging slides regarding expectations. Same thing with team. Clocking in, clocking out using the quick badge function. Employee satisfaction, I was able to get some of the results from the Pulse survey, end of calendar year 24. We'll discuss one of the kind of lower scored questions, see if we can solicit any feedback or ideas for improvement with that. Again, some hanging slides regarding some resources available regarding education. Unit-based practice council, Carrie King is actually working right now, kind of busy on the unit. She may not be able to join us in time, but I can speak to what they have been working on. Scanning scores, positions, kudos, and then open forum and questions. But before we get into it, I want to hand it over to my boss, our new CNO, COO, Kara, to introduce herself again.
I'm Kara Simpson. I've been here almost 6 weeks. I want to say I started on the 16th, I believe, of December. So however many weeks, it's gone by fast. I feel like I've been here a lot longer. So I originally came from, most recently, Sonora, so down by Yosemite National Park. Personal note, I have 3 grown children, 6 grandchildren. I'm living in West Sacramento, and my background is mostly trauma and cardiac nursing. So just started drinking coffee about 5 years ago. So I'm a very active CNE. I'm on the floor. You'll see me in rounds, etc. So I was up in ICU today, and I saw some of you on Med-Surg. So my door's always open if you need anything. You can always go to Brian. Brian will come to me too. But yeah, very approachable if you need anything. I'm going to take myself off camera just because I'm eating, but I'm listening too. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kara.
Mm.
All right, we'll get right into it. Accounting, year-to-date productivity, we're still doing really well. We're at about 117%, and our OT is under the 2% threshold, so we're doing great. As you guys probably know, the last few weeks have been very slow, not just for the campus census, but respiratory census too. So this speaks to the process of flexing when we have this low census and have low procedure counts. Thanks in large part to the shift leads that are managing, and yeah, very awesome job. Thank you, Kara. Shift leads that are managing, and the oversight that you are giving to each shift. You will realize quickly this week, over the weekend, we have picked up dramatically. Census has gone up in the house, respiratory census has gone up, ICU is full. We have ventilated patients, BiPAP patients, high flow patients. So we're seeing a little bit of a surge, which is great. The productivity is in a really good spot as we go into a couple of trainings. Obviously, when we train staff, it comes out of directly out of our accounting unit, which hits our productivity. We'll be orienting currently our new per diem, Taylor Hodge. She's doing great. She'll have an additional 3 weeks of training ahead of her. Beyond that, in February, we're going to be starting the EEG training with Andrea Rodriguez. And after that, we'll be training EEGs for Ina. Hey, Emily, thanks for joining. Needless to say, it is important that we are good stewards of our resources, our productivity being case in point, because all of those trainings are going to kind of cut away at that. So I believe we're in a really good spot right now to take that head on and come through the other side still looking green. So just as an FYI. And then just again, another hanging slide regarding productivity. You guys are all very aware of this at this point. We go by relative value units for our point system. And again, roughly 30 RVUs to offset 1 FTE. That's kind of where the math comes from and what our calculations ultimately come from in order to flex as needed. All right, moving into current events. This has actually been a little bit of a hot topic issue, just generally around the campus, specifically regarding security. But with that being said, this is an issue that won't necessarily just affect security. It'll also touch some of our frontline workers. This, of course, is regarding the California Hospital Association's memo regarding the impact of the presidential immigration executive orders on hospital care. Um, as you may or may not know, there have been some administrative talks, as in presidential cabinet level, regarding deportations and immigration status and what have you. There have been some security guards that have been concerned about what that actually means for healthcare workers. In collaboration, of course, with the security manager and his market leader, they have cascaded down this memo coming from the California Hospital Association. Some highlights to know, and this has been disseminated to your email. If you don't have a copy, let me know and I can send it to you. But essentially, this again, as coming straight from the memo, as a reminder, California and federal health information privacy laws prohibits hospitals, physicians, and other healthcare providers from disclosing patient information to ICE officers unless patient signs a legally compliant authorization, officer provides a valid subpoena, and officer provides a valid judicial warrant. Frontline, this is again directed to frontline staff. There's a bullet point: frontline and clinical staff should be trained to neither confirm nor deny the presence of a patient to an ICE officer and refer officers to administrators on duty. Kara, I see you took yourself off of the or put yourself back on video. I'll hand it over to you if you have another point for that.
One thing I was gonna say, just keep in mind, somebody asked me about staff. You gotta remember, we all went through background checks, right? We have to, show that we are US citizen, et cetera. So, and everybody who's working within the facility is fine. Should have been checked out and
Yes.
everything from the time of hire. So just wanted to make sure. And we haven't seen anything going on in the hospitals, at least not here locally. But just be aware and watch social media. Don't believe everything you read. In
Yeah,
other words,
absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very good point. Okay. Well, with that's kind of a biggie. You guys, do you have any, before I move on, do you guys have any questions on the call? Okay. Obviously, it's a developing story. As I get more information cascaded to me, and whatever I get from C-suite, Kara, I'll obviously cascade that down to you guys so you have the information that you need should you be confronted with a situation like this. Okay, and just a moment to sit sit back and stretch. This actually came as an email forwarded from our employee health, and then forwarded from employee health by our HR uh, business partner director, Kristen. And it's just to remember to try and stretch. We're kind of on our feet all the time. And if we're not on our feet, we're at the desk charting. Just try and remember to relax a little bit when you can, stretch around a little bit, walk around. I know a lot of you guys do this already, but just it's a good reminder because we can find ourselves kind of tweaking our backs, particularly um, arms, lifting patients. Just remember to use good technique, proper lifting technique, and take care of your body. That's the only one you got. Okay. Iris reporting. So this came up recently. I was approached by a RT staff member giving me some feedback regarding Iris reporting, particularly as it pertains to unexpected outcomes regarding physicians. So, an example that I gave recently is, say, for example, you are part of a conscious sedation, whether it's a reduction in the ED, or a defibrillation, or a cardioversion on the floor, what have you. In any event that you are part of a conscious sedation, where you have to do some more interventions rather than just passive oxygenation, like a chin lift, jaw thrust, or actually actively bagging the patient. That's considered an unexpected outcome. And for any unexpected outcome for these types of procedures, irises need to be entered. Now, the feedback that I got from RT staff was that there was some apprehension regarding writing these iris reports per some sort of retaliatory act from med staff. So what I want to make clear is that uh, it, if you feel as that you shouldn't feel as though that any of this will be retaliatory. It is important for us to notate when there are incidents like this where there's an unexpected outcome, because that's the only way that we can improve our practice. It's the only way that providers can improve their practice. I've already had a conversation with the director of med staffing. Her name's Kelsey. She has offered to come speak at our February department meeting to this directly. She wants to know when these things happen. All of the doctors report to her. She oversees them in every aspect. So if there's an issue, the only way that it can be corrected is if it's documented through this system. We can track and trend and see what exactly is happening. And then she can follow up and give that feedback to her doctors. So there's an idea that this is a kind of a punitive device when we're doing this iris reporting. It's not that at all. It's really just a tool by which we can see what is going on, how we can make things better, provide resources, education. It's incredibly important to do generally, but extremely so when it comes to interactions that, well, that we're involved with that have to do with conscious sedation, administration of oxygen, or additional procedures that we have to intervene in that go from just a conscious sedation to a deep sedation. So, if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Like I said, Kelsey is going to be speaking at our next department meeting, and just letting you all know collectively that she wants to get the feedback. She, like everybody else at this facility, just wants to make sure that our practices are always improving. So please don't hesitate if there's something that goes unexpectedly. Um, do make a report, and we're just we want to improve. All right. So you may or may not know, we have an parking policy on the books here at Woodland Memorial Hospital that goes over in some pretty good detail about where employees, providers, and volunteers, and patients need to park. What hasn't been as clear as it is the enforcement of this policy. For the last several years, probably through COVID. I know certainly since I've been here, its enforcement has been hit or miss. Just so that you have some visibility on this topic, we, between myself and Brian, the manager of security, we're going to be putting some higher visibility with this policy and kind of reinstating it more or less. What this will come to is a pathway attestation, not just for respiratory therapy, but for all employees, where you are signing off that you've read and understood the policy. After that, a Google form will come out to all employees so that they can put in their identification, name, email address, and more importantly, a list of the vehicles, make, model, year, license plate of the vehicles that you use to commute to work. The reason that we're having this information gathered is so that we can issue the decals that this policy speaks to, so that they can be affixed to the windshields, so we can have like a good idea of who a visitor is, who an employee is, who a volunteer is, who a provider is. Honestly, this is it is used in a way to make sure that our visitors and our patients have the closest parking spots to the hospital, you know, for obvious reasons. This is going to be a stepwise rollout. And as we get closer to rolling it out, obviously I'll be messaging this to the department, but also for the hospital leaders to kind of cascade out to their staff as well. So this isn't anything new. It's just a policy that hasn't really been more or less enforced in quite some time to the letter of what the policy speaks to. So more to come. This just came out today. There's going to be some work done with engineering facilities that will result in the cutoff of our water supply. This is to clear out, replace some sewage tubing, piping rather, in our basement. And the date that has been identified, it hasn't been nailed down quite yet, but it will be sometime in mid-February, probably a Wednesday or a Thursday night, sometime between midnight and 6 a.m. What we are doing as part of a leadership team is to anticipate what kind of needs these areas will have from a infection prevention, sanitation, and hydration standpoint. We're currently facilities is looking to get some more portable hand washing stations. We're ordering more bottles for eye wash, and just generally more hand sanitizers and bottled water for the areas that will be impacted. Now, as we get closer to the actual date and time, obviously I will let our department know because this is speaking to the ED and the ICU. It will encompass all of ICU. It'll encompass the bathroom that's right next to our RT department. There are identified water closets, bathrooms that are in green that we will have available to us on that floor, but we just won't be able to use any of the sinks or the restrooms that are in the kind of tan outlined areas as seen on these maps. So again, just so you're aware, in February, this project will happen overnight. Okay, RT equipment. Again, you guys are doing a fantastic job at cleaning, stripping, dressing, and bagging and tagging our equipment. Just a gentle reminder, I saw two EKG machines today that had green tags on them, but no dust cover, no bag. If you happen to go pass by one that's like that, please take a moment to get a bag and cover it. This is not just good practice. It has literally saved us previously with roof leaks. It was about a year ago, maybe more, where in the ICU there was a roof leak that destroyed one of our EKG machines. It would have been unscathed if we had a dust cover over it. Some of these dust covers, these equipment covers, are already pre-stocked on the racks in ICU. So please continue to do that. Some exciting news. We have Zebra label makers that have finally been installed in our department. That's the good news. The bad news is that they have been installed, but they don't work. There's an active ticket and conversation that is currently going on between Tim and Jamie from IT. They have to troubleshoot along with Cerner in order to get these to communicate. Initially, they said that they were connected. They were immediately found to not be connected. So first step is done. We have them in our possession. They're in our department. Second step is to get to the end of this ticket where they are going to be communicating with not just our desktop computers, but also the RT WOWs that we utilize for the floors. So when these are officially working, I'll follow up with you guys. But very exciting. These were ordered quite some time ago, and they finally have arrived. So they'll be up and running hopefully in no time now. Also, for those of you that don't know, we finally have a hardwired EKG machine. Currently, this is in 2A. Ultimately, the plan is to have three hardwired EKG machines on campus, one in the surgery center, one in ED, and one on 2A. The idea behind this is to provide a redundancy should our network go down and should there be an issue with the Bluetooth connectivity for the wireless WAM to the cart. What has happened within the last couple of months actually has been two separate instances where both the network has gone down and the Bluetooth connectivity has been interrupted between the WAM, which essentially are the leads, the wireless lead puck and the cart, rendering our EKG capability for a 12 lead to be impossible. Obviously, you know that this is detrimental for a hospital, certainly an ER. So the decision was made to purchase three of these in those specific areas. They will permanently be hardwired. There won't be any back and forth between a wireless and a hardwired puck. Just in case that there is any kind of connectivity issue. If there's a network issue, or if there's a Bluetooth issue, we're still going to be able to do a 12 lead, print it out, and put it into the patient's chart. When the network is resolves its issue, we're then able to sync it and get that to flow over to Cerner. So very exciting. Uh, Gloves and PPE, infection control, again, not just good practice, but also at the top of mind because of our window being wide open for TJC, CMS, surveyors to come by. Reminder of the month, there is to be no gloves worn in hallways. If you are leaving a room, if you're entering a room, if you're entering a room, you're doing hand hygiene and you're donning your gloves. If you're exiting a room, you are taking off your gloves and doing hand hygiene. Even if you're just going from a room to an equipment area, you just put your gloves on. You might know that those gloves are clean. Surveyor's not going to know those gloves are clean. You have to take them off. Just remember, it's just the patient room, patient care where these gloves can be worn. All right, just a hanging topic. Please remember, obviously, your time cards are your responsibility. At the end of the pay period, do verify, sign off. All the hours are correct and accurate. Make sure that you are clocking in and out using the badge readers. Either by the nurses station in the ICU. Those are the closest ones to our department. If those are not functional or going through an update, you can use the quick badge feature on any of the WOWs or in our department computers. All right, employee satisfaction survey. So we all had the opportunity to do the Pulse My Voice survey. That's kind of a mid-year employee satisfaction survey that we kind of just get a kind of an idea if there's anything that we need to look at, be concerned at, something that I can improve. This we don't typically get as much uh, responses. Our response rate is really low relative to the My Voice survey that happens mid-year. But with that said, there were some interesting results that came through that I would like to ask the group their opinions about. So just to be clear, this question came by way of the Pulse survey and not the mid-year My Voice survey. This question came in, I feel a sense of personal connection to the broader organization, Common Spirit Health. Now, this came in, this of course is out of 5.0 rating. We're at 3.63. So with that said, for those of you that are on the call, why why would you think this question came back relatively low? Don't all give suggestions all at once. It's overwhelming,
It's
guys.
a safe space.
It absolutely is.
Well, I mean, I guess I could speak for me. I think it's just been, I think, a frustrating time in healthcare. There's a lot of cuts, there's a lot of unknowns to the future and stuff. I mean, with our, last year happening with like partnership and Aetna and all those things. I mean, not that there's really so much a lack of communication from our immediate management, but just in general, I don't really feel connected to
Yeah.
broader dignity.
It's totally fair.
Yeah, no, it is. And this one, I mean, if memory serves me correctly, even during the mid-year employee satisfaction survey, this question does come in relatively low consistently. When I've solicited just insight and ideas in the past as to why that is, it usually comes not from the local leadership or even the local C-suite, but this is more kind of executive, like organizational CEOs, like say, for example, Wright Lassiter. Now, even during the Lloyd Dean tenure, when he was overseeing the organization, I'll freely admit there has been limited direct communication from the really the top brass to come down to the frontline staff. And that has been escalated over the years. Personally, have I seen a change? I can't say honestly that I have, but what I can say is that to the degree that either myself, my boss Kara, Gina Bravo, the hospital CEO and president, to the degree that they can cascade information from the large organization via email, and then through huddles and through department meetings, they do. So. I'm not quite sure how to address that, but yeah, it still is presenting itself as an opportunity, I would suppose. Anyone besides Emily have any insight as or suggestions how to improve this?
I mean, I can say something because I felt like I answered that question when I was taking the survey. So for me,
Mhm,
probably was so when I got hired, it was still Dignity Health. The Common Spirit has not merged with Dignity Health. So
mhm,
when we merged, and then everything just kind of started changing to
mhm,
Dignity, to Common Spirit, the logos on the computers
mhm,
and stuff like that. It kind of felt like, um, like Dignity was kind of being pushed out
mhm,
and Common Spirit was just kind of taken over. And I personally, nothing was really revealed to us about
mhm,
about Common Spirit and what they stand
mhm,
for. From what I understand, it's just we have similar um, ideas and common goals, but
mhm.
it was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit of that loyalty to that dignity.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that just kind of felt like, and I wish we could keep that dignity logo.
I know. Yeah. No, that I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing that, Ina. I will say that oh man, Emily and I, when we joined this organization, we've been through three brand changes. It started at Common Catholic Healthcare West, and then Dignity Health, and now Common Spirit. I will say, just as a kind of a broad statement regarding Common Spirit, there was a merger that happened between Dignity Health and Catholic Healthcare Initiatives. So Catholic Healthcare Initiatives, of course, is its own, or was its own, healthcare organization. So as again during Lloyd Dean's tenure as our Dignity Health CEO, he had an eye for expansion, and part of that expansion was that this merger that happened with CHI. What overall the goal was, which I admittedly, it to your point, Ina, hasn't really been articulated down seemingly like in a meaningful way, in an intentional way, that the vision and the long-term goal was to completely bridge these two healthcare organizations into one. So we've had this kind of awkward time between where there's CHI world and there's Dignity Health world, and there's this like kind of vague common spirit. So the goal or the future, as it has been articulated to me at least, is that the legacy CHI, the legacy Dignity Health, those brands will kind of go away, and we will be just really focusing hard on rebranding ourselves as one common spirit. So, this the kind of the goals, the vision, the values, the mission statement, more or less Dignity Health and Catholic Healthcare Initiatives had a tremendous amount of similarities, both being fundamentally rooted in Christian Catholic ideals. And so with this one common spirit, will just be kind of all coming together, more or less. So hopefully this will breed some more stability, some more understanding, and through time, more brand loyalty and buy-in, despite the icons that Common Spirit uses versus Dignity Health. But anyway. And Marta, I don't know if you have anything to add, but if you do, I'd love to hear it. All right. Well, then we will continue. Again, just some hanging slides, resources that are available for you should you be interested in continuing your education, whether online, certifications, even offsetting the cost for license renewals. Ed Assist is the program that is sponsored by the organization, and the Education Fund is also the resource to offset costs that is brought to you by SEIU. I've utilized both of these programs quite a bit. I'd be happy to help you navigate them if you are interested in pursuing it. This has been emailed to you previously. This came from our educator, Dave Gerner. Just classes for BLS, ACLS, PALS. Should you need them, these are the dates and times where we will be hosting them. Obviously, you can always go to the CLC. For BLS, you can always go to Cascade. Any information that you need in order to do that is in this email, and you're always welcome to ask me directly. I can provide that information too. Unit-based practice council, like I said, Carrie is busy in care. Danielle wasn't able to join us for the day shift meeting. They're currently working on orientation binders for those who are going to be orienting to, say, PFT. They're also working on some just general kind of Bible binders for policies, procedures, things that we do in our department as a means to kind of help standardize and be a resource, especially for our new hires. Taylor Hodge will be our guinea pig, I suppose, for some of these binders. So far, they've done a phenomenal job. They're doing great. I know that they are also looking to nail down a date for a social. Hasn't come through yet. I know they vaguely had the idea of sometime between January and February, but we haven't settled on a date and time as of yet, to my knowledge. When we do, obviously, it'll be posted in the department, and hopefully we can get together. Scanning scores, again, this is something I audit daily. Extremely important that we are getting the right med to the right patient at the right time. This is generally, we're doing really good. If there are some one-offs, I'm having individual conversations with therapists to find out what it is that is kind of the bottleneck to 100%. More often than not, what I hear is that it's either a barcode issue or a equipment issue. If it's a barcode issue, obviously we need to be not forcing it through, but having a conversation with pharmacy to get a new barcode issued. They're happy to do it. Same with the WOWs. If one of the scanners doesn't work, just don't force it through. Take the time to get another WOW, log out of what you're in. Please put in a ticket for the broken equipment. It's the only way that we're going to consistently have equipment that is functional and is working. It's a patient safety issue, extremely important. Generally, you guys are doing good. Keep up the good work. And kudos, we had just as of yesterday, we had one lonely kudo. Kudos to everyone in this fantastic department. That for sure is not said enough. So yes, kudos to everyone. You consistently do incredible work. So thank you. And with that, that was a lot. There's a lot of information. Questions, comments, concerns?
I do not have any. Good job,
Okay.
Brian.
Thank you very
You're all
much.
doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kara. All right. Well, again, thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you as well.
Thanks.